What's going on, guys? Welcome to our Lucifer final season review.
Yay!
So we gotta choose. We're not gonna choose our words carefully, but I will say, in our Lucifer is overrated video that we're a little bit drunk in, we pissed a lot of people off. I feel
it's an opinion, guys. Get over it.
It is, right? But I'm just saying, most negative thoughts on this show just don't go over well, it would seem, with the majority. But that's okay.
It's your favorite show. That's cool. But,
yeah. So
don't be hating just because we aren't in love with it. I mean, yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we will. But yeah, that video went over pretty poorly. I'll just say that.
Hey, any clout is good clout. Any interaction.
Some people feel that way for sure.
I know you do.
Before the opening scene, of course, we saw this in the trailer. I'm just reading off of my notes because, of course, it's really hard to remember off the top of your head, especially with the whole season, and I just jotted down a few throughout the course of the season. So, of course, I'm probably going to end up missing something in there, or maybe not even remember exactly what my notes were talking about, but I'll do my best. So, the opening scene, loved it. I think it's become more and more common for shows, or movies, or I guess shows more particular, just to do this, but to call back to how they started, with the ending, which is the way it is, and the opening scene of Lucifer in the car.
Full circle, basically.
Yeah. They had the song "The Passenger." Lots of good music throughout the show for the most part. They had the song "The Passenger," and he's in the car on his way down, and the same cop pulls him over. Really like that. It was perfect. However, this particular episode, I believe, and then maybe even the next one. So overall, I guess I'll just say our problem with Lucifer that I think we mentioned in the last video, and it further justified. Honestly, I thought back after we made that video. I was like, okay, well maybe we were too harsh on it. But then this season came up, and it was like, oh no, this is the reason. This is what I was talking about.
It showed us that it is capable of going outside of the things that we weren't really happy with, and it did it pretty well for the most part.
Yeah,
right?
But it reestablished the point that I was trying to make in that video. I was like, I'm so glad they're doing this. Literally, I can't remember exactly what the plot line was, but in the Magician episode, the whole case, the crime case, parallels something going on with Lucifer and his inner emotions.
It was like somebody taking over Dad's throne, basically.
Yeah, and that's...
Dad was a musician, and it's just passed down through family or whatever.
Yeah, and that's okay, honestly, to have a storyline that parallels with, cop shows and different shows do things like that where it'll parallel with something else going on. But leave it. If you want to do it, I mean, they do it all the time. It's too much already. Mm-hmm. So on top of that, to make it even better, just leave it for the audience to figure out themselves. Don't have a scene where I rolled my eyes so hard whenever Lucifer either says it or Chloe says it to him. Like, turns to him in the middle of solving the case. Like, oh, this is just like your situation with your dad or something like that.
You don't feel worthy to take his... Yeah.
It's just like, wow. They really felt the need to either spoon feed that to us, or Chloe thinks Lucifer is an idiot and is telling him that too, because Lucifer, he's fucking stupid, I mean, pretty much. He's fucking stupid. He's like 1,000s and thousands. He's as old as time, but he's fucking stupid, in a lot of different cases. I've told you where he's like trying to figure out things in such a dumb way, like, I've already explained it before, but hopefully you know what I mean, where it's just always too on the nose with some stuff. However, I think they did back off a good bit on that this season, just because they were trying. So my problem has always been they kind of focus too much on the cop storyline, and then the main storyline with the characters gets blown back to either the first part of the episode or the last part. But for this final season, of course, they were making sure that the cases and the plot lines, or the stories, intertwine better with the characters. I think, and a big part of that was probably because Chloe isn't working in the LAPD anymore. Type thing with that, but I did enjoy. I did like that they backed off some of that. But anyway, so they had the cartoon episode. They always do. It's not all negative about the show. I really do enjoy it. Tom Ellis, his acting, we've said it before. He's just amazing. He owns the screen, his charisma, the persona, everything. Just really sucks you in.
Really
He's
gets
awesome.
into character really well.
Yeah,
Really well.
absolutely.
I don't know what he's like in real life,
mean,
but
I don't know. I couldn't imagine him being any different. But yeah, awesome. And then they do have a lot of fun with some of the episodes and doing creative things. Like I remember a few seasons or a season ago, they did a black and white episode with flashback, like a noir type
with
thing.
Maze's mom.
Yeah.
Lilith.
And then this past season earlier, they had the musical episode, which was interesting. You know, just that they want to experiment and do fresh things. And then they had the cartoon episode this season, which was nuts. You know,
I really liked that episode.
Yeah.
I don't think it was my favorite substance-wise, but it was just really, really cool and really funny. We were cracking up a lot during that episode. It was really good.
Yeah. So it's always interesting. Like I said, they do interesting, fresh things to just take risks. You know, and I like that. And also, just something I noticed since they moved to Netflix, I accidentally started up the first season. They're just popping with color since Netflix took over, I believe. Because in the earlier seasons, they keep it more like a traditional DC thing because it's based on DC comics, and it's very dulled out like colors. But then, I guess with Netflix, it pops now.
Yeah.
If you ever go back and look, it's interesting. See the change in color. Let's see I got a note about the new cop guy that Ella has a romantic relationship with. Yeah, I'm bad with names, but Detective Carroll, I like this character pretty good. The episode where Chloe and Lucifer search for their daughter, I really like that episode. I think that was a standout because it was perfect with the case that they were working on, or whatever. It was a part of the plot line, like I said, and I don't know, I think there was some good friction between Chloe and Lucifer that episode. They had a cool fight scene together, and also it was interesting to see Lucifer kind of, get to figure out that he's a dad and try to do better than what his dad did, and it'd be very personal to him because of how his dad, God abandoned him. I thought giving him a daughter was great and something I would have never even thought of to do, but I thought it worked out really well.
Yeah.
Let's see. Black Lives. I got in there here. The Black Lives Matter stuff with Amenadiel. His whole story for the season was that pretty much, and it was just it was tough to watch. I'll say I skipped through some of it. This Black Lives Matter or whatever. It's just it's too forced down your throat in a lot of TV and movies these days to where it's oversaturated, and it was very over the top here, especially before you figure out that they're just corrupt white supremacists. They're not actually just racist scared cops. So watching it from that perspective makes it a little bit different, if you know what I mean. Before you knew that they were actually white supremacist organization or whatever, it was just like, wow, this is just, I don't know, like the scene where the cop comes up and the girl is unarmed and the gun is like
that was
far away from her.
I don't know exactly how bad it gets. I don't really follow news and politics and stuff like that. But I just can't imagine that it would ever be that bad, especially if, you got two cops already there literally yelling at them like she's not even the fucking suspect. Like, what are you doing,
Yeah,
and they were still about to kill her. It was just,
I didn't like that at all.
And for how heavy it was for that one episode, and then half as heavy for half an episode the next one, I was just a little confused. Did they just do it to check a box? It wasn't a plot, you know?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. They didn't have... So, I told her this in the middle of an episode we were watching. So, last season, the actor that played Dan apparently had requested, since it was the final season, to get killed off. And they were like, okay, yeah, we'll kill you. And to me, that's a little bit of an issue. The fact that they can just kind of willy-nilly just do that because the actor wanted. Because for a good story, I think, for the most part, you want to have all your main characters pretty much, where they're going to end up where you want them, So, the fact that they were able to just change it on the fly like that, just kind of leaves, like I said, with Amenadiel, they kind of just needed him to occupy time to have him something to do this season. So they gave him something like that up until the point where he decides to become God, which, again, is frustrating because we've spent so much time having Lucifer build up to be God. And then Amenadiel, I don't remember what his reason for not being God was originally, but, he wasn't good with it, and then he was just because Lucifer couldn't do it.
Yeah, it was a little confusing.
I mean, granted, maybe I just need to pay attention better, but she usually pays better attention than I do, and she's pretty much in the same boat as me.
I'm pretty sure he was saying something like, "This is not what Dad wanted." Like he said that we would figure it out, and I can't just like take the throne or something like that. I'm not really 100% sure, but
yeah. But I did like the I've always been a fan of this since Doctor Who. Doctor Who did a storyline like this, where you know, if you've seen it, the knock 4 times before David Tennant's doctor, whenever he hears the knock, 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 that's whenever he's about to die. You know, so he's worried the whole season, like, oh, am I going to hear the knock? Oh my goodness, something just happened with the recording.
no, I think it's still going.
So it kind of builds up anticipation already, because you know every single episode you're waiting, like, okay, Lucifer's going to disappear, something's going to happen. It sets up a feeling of tension, you know, continues throughout. So I like that they had that, you know, where what's her name knows where the characters are going to end up. Rory, yeah, the daughter, and it gives you a sense of, you know, how's this all going to play out, you know, because it's all got an ending, it's all got something here, you know. Again, like what I said, the best stories are the ones that know how they're going to end for the most part. Even though this one didn't quite stick the landing, but let's see. Chloe on the last episode, she was drinking champagne. She pointed this out while she was pregnant, which was just like, what the fuck. Again, it was a weird scene where they just needed her to occupy time so Lucifer and Rory could talk. So she's just drinking champagne. I mean, maybe it was non-alcoholic, you know, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know, she looked pretty drunk when she was like dancing around and stuff, and then she's drinking out of a champagne glass. Looks like champagne. It's bubbly like champagne, colored champagne. And then behind Lucifer and Rory, they got a picnic basket and a bottle of champagne is sticking out of it. So it's like,
she was pregnant. I didn't even notice till she pointed it out.
Yeah, I said it, and I don't think he put 2 and 2 together. And I was like, if she's pregnant, I mean, like she's getting drunk and she's pregnant.
Yeah. Let's see. So, but they did, you know, the show. It sounds like I'm doing a bunch of complaining, but the show, which I am, but it does great. What's the word? Just fun. It's fun, you know, with the characters and that, and it can be emotional too. Like they had really good dialogue, I think, between Lucifer and all the characters in that, like second to last episode, I think it was, when they're all saying goodbye. Yeah, all of that was just one big, like, just well written, you know, goodbye to each and every one character, and I'm glad they took the time to do that. And you know, it was pretty sweet to see, I guess. Maze kind of got choked up, and you got to wonder for stuff like this, you know, whenever it is the final season of the show, you know, are the actors actually getting emotional in that too? Like, are they just acting, or, you know what I mean? So all of that was really nice, and they did a good job with all of that, I think. And let's see. So, but the ending story for Lucifer. Now, again, this is something where she's on my side as well, because I usually don't pay that much attention, or as much as she does. But the whole reason Lucifer goes to hell and doesn't come back, I like the fact that he's a therapist, you know, in hell, because that whole storyline doesn't really, that story point never made sense to me, that people go to hell and they just keep themselves there because they feel guilty.
Yeah, that's something that I brought up mid-season. Like, you know, Dan was a good person who ended up going to hell, but he only was really able to get out because Lucifer, he was friends with Lucifer, you know, so it's like, if you don't know him, then you're just fucked, even though you're a good person, genuinely, like.
Yeah. So they touch on that plot point, you know, in a big way, which I was happy about. Hell becomes not just a place where you go to get tortured. It becomes a place where, okay, you can have a chance to get better and get sent up, you know, or not. Lucifer work through with the problems and that. I like that. But why the fuck couldn't it be like just like a job that Lucifer goes to and then comes back? Because he's traveled to hell and back before. So many times. Just whenever he wants. You know, he just flies there. So, and this is something, I'm so tired of hearing self-actualize.
Yeah.
They say that way too much. And is that why he couldn't come back, because of some self-actualization? That I can't comprehend all that shit. I can't. All the, you know, oh, Lucifer can't do this because he feels this way. You know, it's too psychological for me, I guess, or it's just too convenient where it's really just a plot point to make Lucifer not be able to do things, or do things whenever they need him to be able to, or maybe it does make that much sense.
Can we talk about something else that you didn't put in your notes that I just thought about? towards the beginning, Linda was a fucking bitch. She was just all
Yeah.
about that damn book. She was like,
Yeah.
oh my god. I was like, jeez.
Yeah, I did like that too, though. That episode as well, you just reminded me where you see things through Linda's perspective or how she hears it, and then
Oh yeah.
somebody else can say, oh, no, wait, it happened like this, and you see it through, like, Maze's perspective or Dan's perspective,
yeah.
you know? I did like that a lot, but, oh, and there's a line of dialogue I like between Louis and Lucifer.
Lucifer. I mean,
I'm sure that's like a fan fiction name or something, but whenever they're at the piano together, it's how they first met in the first episode. He's like, she's like, your name really Lucifer? And he's like, yeah, it's God-given, I'm afraid. But it, had that, I like that. I like that little stuff in there. But yeah, so it's just the whole plot line. It seems like they want to make it more tragic, but I don't get why Lucifer couldn't just come back. I'm sure if you
they
think
never
about
really
it,
gave a reason. They were
shit.
just like, you can't come back. And it's like,
but Amenadiel can be God and he can come back.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then something else that we didn't understand was, he technically saved Chloe's soul before she could have Rory's soul, because, she had her, I think that was one of your next notes, her little half-demon face that was coming out.
Yeah, I like
when
that.
She was about to kill Lamont, or however you say his name. And she was telling him, oh, this is why you were leaving. And she was like, I'm not mad at you. Like, don't change anything about it or whatever. And she was like, because I was one of those souls. But I was like, even if he went now, it wouldn't have changed what he already did earlier that day. I just don't understand that. And she was saying, don't promise me that you won't change anything. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a lot of depth.
I'm either really confused or they're really confused.
Yeah, I don't know why they couldn't have just had Lucifer, like, going back and forth, man. I mean, like I said, it's just like they want to do something a little bit more with a little bit more punch to it,
Yeah.
But in the process of doing that little punch, it's like it leaves you with a big
what concussion. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, what the fuck. But then again, maybe if we're getting it wrong, then go please explain it to us, and that's fine. That's fine if we're just misunderstanding, And then Chloe, she can like see Amenadiel when he's God at the end, but nobody else can. Does he just allow himself to be for just her to see? Maybe
when he comes
he's
to the
God.
precinct.
Maybe, I don't know. I did like the song. I put that in here. I like the cover song that they had at the end. What was it? Supernova, I think. Champagne Supernova, the cover for it. I like that. Oh, and I put in here Trixie is shafted a lot because there's a lot of scenes where I feel like she should be there. Like
Chloe's fucking deathbed?
Yeah.
She's not there?
Yeah.
And I don't think it would have been because she didn't choose to be there. It's just like...
I will say, though, with Chloe, I'm so glad that they didn't make the actress old. I mean, they didn't put makeup on the actress. They just got a different actress, because a lot of times that just doesn't look good unless you got, like, a movie budget or something, Supernatural, if anybody's seen that, yeah, they did that fucking bad with Sam on his deathbed. Jesus Christ.
Spoilers.
Whatever. Fuck it. Don't watch the final season of that show. Just don't. Just make up your own ending. You'll be happier. Let's see. I think that's pretty much all I got. Oh, the song at the end, the Black Parade. If you listen, she didn't like it initially. I was like, oh yeah, this is weird because it's like a meme song almost. I feel it's just so old.
The first part was fine. I feel like it was just saving the souls, beating in the dam, whatever, I guess.
Yeah, I get the lyrics and I get why they picked it, but, it's just so old. At least now when I listen to that song, I'm going to think of Lucifer, but before I would have thought of, like, sitting on the back of my teenage sister's car, like, back in 2008 while she's jamming out to it, and I'm just a little kid.
As soon as I heard that Gino, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, but whatever, it's fine. Iconic song to remember with it. And I do like the final pan shot, I guess, where, they do it in the therapy in session, whatever, and they're fucking in there or something. They finally meet up, but when does Rory meet up with them? I would have liked to see that, and Trixie's, not there. I don't know. It's strange because couldn't Lucifer just go back up with Trixie, and I guess he couldn't because she would be a ghost. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe we're just overthinking it. But overall, I do want to say, all the complaints aside, which it seems like it was 20 minutes of us complaining, you know what? It's a fun show. It is, as we said, a lot of the actors and it's a
I mean, we enjoy watching it. It's not a pain to watch or anything. It's got its flaws like every show.
Yeah,
we're just pointing them out.
I wouldn't say it was a complete flop on the landing. It's not by any means up there with the worst. Like whenever I think of bad final seasons, it's not up there, you know. But it wasn't. I think it could have been, or I wish it was either.
If they didn't have that goodbye episode, it probably would have been a lot worse.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty much all we got, guys. Like I said, it's kind of long-winded to think of everything that you wanted to say for all of it, but I think we covered a lot and pretty well. So yeah, sorry about the computer making a lot of noise, by the way. I hope you can hear us okay. But all right, thank you guys for watching. Anything else you want to say, babe? I'll see you in the next one.